Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the very first official sit down video of 2023 and I hope you guys are all doing well. If this is your first time tuning in, hi, my name is Vivian and today I will be discussing 5 strategies to becoming your highest self and connecting with your inner goddess. I know this might sound vague, but if you really put these 5 strategies into practice, I promise you, you would never go wrong. So with that being said, let's get started. So the very first point will be speaking less and observing more. And I will explain to you like what I mean by that. So a lot of people tend to respect that lady or that woman or that girl who tends to say less, observes more, and takes more action. So in certain cases, let your action speak way more than your words. Because I honestly feel like, in my opinion, I honestly feel like when I do not kind of engage in just any kind of conversation, people kind of tend to find me mysterious or secretive in a way. Like I've had a colleague of mine walk up to me and say, "Oh, you're pretty secretive." And that's not the case. I just don't have, honestly, anything to contribute. It's not like I don't have things to say, but sometimes it's better to hold your words, say them when necessary or when it's called for, and more or less, rather than talk all that talk, because where I come from, it's called blabbing. When you blab a lot, people tend to lose respect for you. And as a woman, it's very, very nice for you to, it's kind of like a ladylike thing for you to practice the act of saying less. So if you are someone who literally talks too much, like wherever you go, you want to be like, the life of the party, which is a nice thing. Like it's not a bad thing if you're the life of the party and you tend to carry everyone along. It is nice, but sometimes it is best in gatherings, you always at the last person to speak, or in conversations, really. It shouldn't be you just like, blabbing and yanning all out. You should be able to have or listen to every other person's opinion before issuing out yours. And obviously, I feel like it's more respected. People look at you like gracefully, and they honestly do not know what your next move will be. When you tend to talk too much, it's like everyone just feels like, oh, it's all talk and, no action. But when you say less and you let more of that action speak rather than the words, I feel like a lot of the times like you are looked and respected like way highly more than your normal usual peers. So yeah, so it'd be the first point would definitely be saying less, in order to probably connect. I feel like that's how people literally see you as being feminine. I don't think that works. It's just a personal observation that I have noticed about myself. Not saying much and just, kind of keeping it cool and keeping it, together till when my opinion is needed or when there's like really a need for me to speak up, then I would definitely have something to say. So speaking less and observing more should be one of the points or one of the strategies to embrace when trying to connect to your inner feminine energy or your inner feminine self. So yeah, definitely speaking less and observing more will be my very first point and advice. So if this is something you're not used to, you should try practicing it at least like on a daily basis. If you used to go like 99% of like talk, you should kind of cut it down, beat by beat. Still, you're very comfortable and, you feel more at ease with just, saying less. So yeah, speaking less and observing more is definitely the first point. So the very second point would be reading books. It could be anywhere from articles, novels, journals, magazines, anything that talks about like feminism, anything to help like boost your inner confidence, and also try supporting like-minded females or women who you actually admire or you feel like they have very strong feminine power or feminine energy. I feel like this would help, you know, to not only just boost your confidence by reading books that actually talks about feminism, how to comport yourself, how to be more feminine, how to be more connected with your inner power or your inner goddess, would be practicing reading like stuff like articles that helps you. I just feel like when you do that, it doesn't magically happen, but it does take time. Um, like I didn't usually like to drink tea when I go out. I'd always want to drink coffee because I'm so used to it. Like I do work nights, and sometimes it's really hard to keep up with like sleep and all of that. So most of the time I drink a lot of coffee, especially like really black. So practicing the act of, I know this is not like in relation to what I'm actually talking about right now, but I just noticed like practicing the act of like going out and ordering like something like a tea is, for me, I feel like anyone could drink a tea, when they're out, but it's not something that I normally do. But I'd read in magazines, or I'd have like an article or a novel where there's a line or stretch that actually says that, maybe a lady walking into a cafe or whatever and just ordering like a tea of her choice, or, they make it sound very enriched and sensational and stuff. But in actual sense, what I'm actually trying to talk about, or what I'm actually saying is, read stuff that helps you, that builds you up, that builds up who you are, builds up your confidence, helps you connect with your inner self. I feel like everyone does have that power in them, and everyone is being created with a gift, a talent. It's possible that some people haven't found out what it is yet. Some people are in the process of finding that out. And some people are already walking literally in their power, or walking in their feminine energy. And, it can be a good thing because they do have a dark feminine energy and a light feminine energy. So some people would use it for the good of others, and to help others, and to make others actually realize that everyone has this power in them. Everyone can feel very confident in who they are, and what they can actually, like, their purpose, and what they can actually share with other feminine women. I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, like reading like a lot of books, articles, novels, magazines, and seeing all this very sensational topics on feminism will definitely help you boost in that inner confidence, and just make you very, very secure with yourself, and very confident that you don't have to look at someone else, or you don't have to feel the pressure of, or intimidated by other like-minded females. So the very third point would be dressing to appeal and not to entice. I know this may sound kind of weird, because you're like, I could wear this and it's still very exposy, but I'm very feminine. And I honestly don't think that that's being that has anything to do with like your femininity. We all know that we're women, because we're created as women, but there's a difference between being more female, like being more feminine, and knowing your power as a woman, embracing your inner confidence. It doesn't mean you have to be all miniskirty every time and be like all exposed, like, boobs out here, ass out here and stuff. I honestly lose respect for a woman who's literally dressed like that. And it is weird because I do expose certain parts of my body. I'm not going to say I'm a saint and I just wear literally like up to down, like all covered. But there is a difference between dressing, you know, properly and dressing to entice. So dress to appeal, be appealing in the eyes, like dress, but make it very classy. You know, you could have that two-piece outfit that literally can be very exposing, but the way you turn that two-piece into something very more like into something very fit as well as very, you know, classy does make a difference. So instead of wearing two-piece, which could just be like a sleeveless top and a skirt, and you know, having the front open as well as like a bit of the side open, and it's all open all the way that you can actually see a part of your skin, like from your ass down. You can always decide to wear a tights underneath, or you can actually decide to wear shorts. So there's a big difference between you trying to dress to be appealing in their eyes and be respected, you know, by people rather than you dressing to be enticing. So I feel like in kind of drawing or attracting that feminine energy towards yourself, you would want to literally dress like to be more appealing in the eyes, you know, rather than be very enticing. And it's totally up to you, like if you feel like, oh, I do have my feminine energy, or I'm working towards it, and it doesn't really matter how I dress, I know who I am, I'm very confident in how I look or what I wear and stuff, and that's totally fine. But I personally, like from my personal view, I would say that I feel more respected and more, you know, I feel more confident in myself when I'm pretty much dressed properly, you know, and I'm dressed very appealing rather than, you know, dressing just to entice. So yeah, that for me would be the third point, dressing to be appealing, to look more ladylike, to look more respectable rather than dressing to be enticing. So yeah, that is the third point. And if you are trying to work towards gaining or attracting that feminine power to yourself, or realizing from inside, trying to gain confidence in who you are, you should literally practice the act of dressing, you know, very properly, or dressing very appealing rather than dressing to entice. So the very fourth point would be working on being more assertive yet soft, more emotional, more sensual, more vulnerable. You know, let your creative energy flow. If there's something you're good at, say it was arts, you do love drawing, or you like to dance, or you like to create home decor, or you know, be creative when it comes to decorations, you know, do it yourself, that kind of thing. Just be creative. That is another trait, you know, to kind of embrace when trying to find out or trying to embrace your feminine energy or to attain feminism, because being able to do that just shows how much of creative power that you have and that you possess without you even knowing it. That could be a God-given talent. You connecting more with like your emotions. Do not close off. Don't have difficulty when it comes to like expressing yourself. Feel pain, it's normal. You know, feel hurt, cry if you have to. You know, don't be all tight up there and be like, I can't show weakness. Not in every case. Sometimes it's actually a good thing to be vulnerable. I wouldn't say all the time, but I used to be someone who puts my, you know, fences so high, and I'd be like, oh, I can't cry, I can't show this, you know, people that I'm weak, or, you know, I'm not strong, I'm not up to the task and stuff. Well, sometimes all of that, you need to let your walls down a bit, you know, Cry if you have to. Be in touch with your emotions, be more sensual, be creative, learn to do something, that you've never thought you could be good at. And if there's something that you're actually good at and that you like to do, practice more of that, because you can only get close to perfect or even perfect when you at least try and you practice it. So if you do like to run or you do like to dance, you do like to, you know, you can't really think of anything, but even if you don't know how to, you can actually learn. If there's something you really like to do, or you don't feel like you're talented enough, or you don't have the skills to do it, you can actually learn. Put yourself through that challenge to actually learn, and perfect it. So yeah, connecting with your inner self would definitely be you understanding yourself, your emotions, be more kind, in the way you talk to people, in the way you relate with people, be more vulnerable at certain times, you know, and just like letting your emotions flow. So yeah, that would be my very fourth point as to you connecting with your inner feminine power or your feminine energy. So the more you practice that, the more comfortable and confident you are in who you are, and just being yourself, pretty much. So the very last point, which is obviously the fifth point, would be embracing nature and practicing a lot of gratitude. I feel like by doing this, it forces you to connect to your inner senses. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. I used to be someone who did not like to, I won't say go hiking, because I still don't. I could compromise if I'm in a situation where I did have to. But I certainly just enjoying nature, just seeing flowers grow on a tree, or just seeing like a scenic view and, mountains and stuff like that. I never used to be a type of person who, would actually be sitting someday and saying, oh, I actually do enjoy this now, because I never used to be that kind of person. But just doing that makes me love something about, I don't know, nature, about like God's creation, and it just marvels me really. Like most of the time, I'm like, how is this even possible? But it allows me to connect. It's weird, but I feel like this, I don't know if it works for other women, but just saying this is my personal opinion. For me, it does a lot of like mental shift, I would say. So if I was like stressed over something, or I was worried about, and I just took a walk, or I went down to, a park, or just somewhere where I could see like nature, it literally does bring me a lot of peace, like inside. It forces me to connect with myself. That's weird. I don't know how else to explain it, but it does do magic. And I find that after I leave wherever it is and I get back home, or I get back to what I was actually working on, or what I was doing before I actually left, I feel more at ease. I feel more happy with, the situation. And even if the situation wasn't, resolved, or whatever the case was, I feel relieved in a way. And it's weird. I don't know if any other person feels the same way, but that's how much inner peace it does give me. So practice going out there. It might not be nature, but try connecting with nature, like the little things. So in doing this, you would really realize how much you would be connecting with your inner self, and how much you feel like you already know about yourself. But literally, there would be a lot of things you didn't know, you liked, or you were drawn to, by just trying to practice this act. So I feel like in attaining a high level of feminine energy, you would need to have some kind of connection with, you know, some people say it's with animals, like animals love to be around you, or like, you love to embrace nature and stuff like that. For me, it's more of the nature side. So I do really like or enjoy just being, in a nature-like, environment where I can just, embrace it and just let it just flow and just enjoy the view and all of that. So doing that would really help you to find out what you actually do like and the things that you probably do not like. These are the 5 strategies finding or attaining that high level of feminine energy. So I hope this really does help someone. I hope you are able to put all 5 strategies into practice and, just enjoy it, connect with nature, be more assertive, stand firm on your words while being soft at the same time. Be more kind to people, show emotions, learn something new, be more creative, let your creative side just flow, dress to appeal and not to entice, read books, read articles, magazines that just lets you, shine and flow and let the feminism in you just, flow out. And lastly, practice. Do a lot of practice. And trust me, you'll definitely get there in no time. I can promise you. So yeah, that's all 5 strategies. And I do hope it does resonate with someone today. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here and for tuning into this week's video. Like always, if you did enjoy this content, please do not forget to give it a like. Do not forget to leave me your thoughts in the comment section. And until I see you in my next video, stay safe and bye for now.